Hey YouTube, you have Leonard here. Bringing guys and gals, Toradora, we're doing the rewatch. We're on episode number 10. So episode 9 in particular was a very, very good one. I have it number 2, episode 8 was number 1, and then we have episode 9 being, I guess, my second favorite that we've seen so far of the rewatch. And I mentioned all this during my reaction. Again, you can check out the comment section or watch the video for episode 9. But long story short, as I said before, is that episode is pivotal because we see the change that's taking place between Taiga, between Ryuji, between really all the characters, specifically as it relates to the love dynamics that are taking place. And Taiga being more aware of her feelings. Ryuji kind of trying to make the move of Minori, but also being completely oblivious to how Taiga is changing her thoughts as it relates to him and becoming a little bit more vocal about it as well. Again, a very key point was that she even highlighted the fact that, maybe that dream wouldn't have been so bad or wouldn't be so bad as a reality, like them being married, this and that. You didn't hear all of that, but MC's an anime. So it gets to the day at this point where I'm just kind of like, we'll keep seeing. Episode number 10, we'll get a little bit more on the stuff we touched on with Minori and also Ryuji in regards to the ghost love relationship thing. That sounds weird, but you guys know what I mean. The comparison of ghosts to relationships, how that's all going to play out. So without further ado, smash that like button. It's greatly appreciated. And we're going to get this started. We're going to begin. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys didn't sleep at all. I'll let check a chat again. I believe one of the Jays needs to move. Everyone keeps telling me one of the Jays need to move, and it's not happening. No, I don't want it to happen yet. I think you can win with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I firmly believe it. Taiga. She's speaking facts. Kind of. The biggest flaw in this whole thing is the fact that Taiga thinks that she can legitimately scare Minori. That's the biggest issue. And Kitamura out here big braining. Win a lottery pick. The Celtics are going to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Then they'll lose. Present? Why are you all up in her face? I can't tell if he does this on purpose sometimes. Why are you all up in there? Even last episode with the towel nonsense, I was like, what's this man doing? Who says bejesus? What? Horrible. Horrible decisions. I love this man at the same time. This girl. Okay. I got enough else to say, everyone, so we vibe to the opening. I'll check chat. Successful season, and they make some. Got the Jays. I mean, in my opinion, if I don't think anyone anticipates the Celtics to be making the Eastern Conference semifinals anyway. The way presently constructed, that's my general thought. I think the ceiling for the Celtics this year is to be a 4 or 5 seed. And if you're a 4 or 5 seed at your ceiling, then in my opinion, yeah, you get to the Eastern Conference semifinals. You gave it a run. But I don't think they're good enough to challenge the Nets of the world and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I've seen the Celtics versus the Nets enough times to know that the Celtics cannot beat the Nets. So I have no hope. It can't be. Maybe they can't beat the Bucks either. Just a bad matchup. Quite frankly, he will probably lose in the semifinals, but I digress. That's what he does. Look at my guy getting close to her. Yo, Giannis is the GOAT. They'll be back on Rodgers when he goes to the playoffs. She's actually pretty good. I don't know why I never expected her to be like the type good at cooking. But granted, all the jobs she works and stuff, it makes sense she's probably good at like taking care of herself. Look at this man having a moment. These two are having a full-on moment. Love it. Love to see it. You smile. Bruh, don't do it. Bruh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hazukashi. Ooh, and Ami's listening to all of this. Yo, Genny, that's not the case if the guy's the better cook. So that changes it. So very quickly, everyone, as I said before, emotions are starting to run high on Ami's side. We know that Ami organized a trip to try and get closer to Ryuji. But she's already aware of the Taiga situation. She's now become also aware of the Minori stuff. And also the fact that Ryuji is doing all this stuff for Taiga, which one can argue screams special preferential treatment. But at the same time, he clearly likes Minori. So there's a conflict happening there. And Ami's kind of watching all this go down, and we go from there. Best girl. Yes. So rude. Huh? Dang. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Boom. I told you it was only a matter of time before Ami blows up. Which I appreciate, by the way. As I said before, Ami keeps things moving. Ami's one who's just like, you can't really fool her on all this stuff. And given her feelings in this situation, I fully understand her for not wanting to help out. Especially because Ryuji's being dishonest with himself. Or with her specifically. And himself. How can anyone trust Kitamura? Hide it. Umai. Mm-hmm. You did what had to be done. The preparations have been made, said Kitamura. Didn't she say she wasn't helping? I don't know. I remember always so much with the show. Who would want to go through this? It screams bad idea. It screams dangerous. In all seriousness, what if there was like a cobra or something in there? This screams dangerous. This guy. Ew. Trash. Trash. Get the tofu off your face first. Please somebody didn't do ketchup for blood. Bruh. It's ketchup, man. This is creepy. The seaweed monster. What is this story? Her screams in the background. That wasn't him. The struggles. Good decisions. Gigi. Dead. That's the end of the series, everybody. Ryuji dies, Ami dies, and yeah, that's the series. She's being so rude right now. Not really. Dang. Ooh, said it. Said it. I don't think she's a good match for you. Ami? What? Mm-mm. Played. Played. Beater of the tofu. I agree. Yep. Oof, that warning. Adoration never leads to a balanced relationship. And it's about to go down. Ooh, that's save. Mm-mm. Those voices. Oh my gosh. And we lost Taiga. What? You're in a puddle, Taiga. Stop this nonsense. Trash. All of them are trash and you were baited. This face, unimpressed. Unimpressed. Whose hair is it? Was it Ami's hair? Ami's so unamused. Of course they're feeling at scaring you. It was trash. Who the stupid seaweed from the ceiling? Hence she called you the seaweed ghost. Taiga failed. I mean, she's not wrong there, I guess. It isn't? Interesting thought. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk about that. If this ain't a confession, light confession, confession light, I'll call it. You said you wanted to see one of the ghosts. I can. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's not wrong. The way she said this, I still don't know if she means this. I can't with her. That's symbolism. Dang. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about this, everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay. So a lot happened this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes, honestly, just because there's lots of I don't care for. We get the whole reveal that Kitamura and Minori were basically working together to scare Taiga and Ryuji. Wasn't that important? I don't personally care about that. We had some very good dialogue here from Ami specifically, which I'll go back and talk about. But Ami here, as I said before, throughout the course of the last 2, 3 episodes, has not been shy about the fact that she has feelings towards Ryuji specifically. She hasn't outright said it, but at the same time, it's very heavily suggested that she has an interest in him. She teases him, but she does legitimately have a feelings like a crush towards him. She even says it in this episode. You can hear her, but the fact that someone more like her versus Minori is someone that would suit Ryuji best. And you see how everyone's together on the beach at the end of the episode, and Ami is separated from everybody. One of the big things is that Ami, as I said before, almost think of her as like not a viewer per se because she's involved in everything, but Ami sees a lot of the stuff that's happening. And well, let me get to the preview, and then I'll finish talking. Oh, this arc. I'm about to get this arc. I can't. We're about to get the arc that annoys me so much. Not in a bad way, it's just that it literally annoys me because we get some stuff that goes down without spoiling. Those who have watched the anime, you guys know what I'm talking about. But as I was saying before, Ami specifically in this episode, again, when she's like kind of away from everyone, she's observing stuff. She fully recognizes the fact that not the Kitamura, sorry, that Ryuji is not interested in her. I think even when she talks about the equal ground and stuff like that, she says you're sometimes just too nice. Is that she doesn't want to hear from him the fact that like we're friends and this and that. She wants something more than that. But she knows that him and Taiga have something that's clearly there, something that's special in terms of their relationship. But then Ami's also frustrated. If it was just Taiga and Yuji, I don't think she'd be as frustrated. They're just being dumb and not recognizing things. But I think the introduction to him liking Minori adds a layer of frustration for Ami because number one, it can't be hers. There's a jealousy factor, of course. But then also the fact that she's just like, you clearly have something to Taiga. You clearly, whether you realize it or not, show her preferential treatment. You clearly, she's someone who's special to you. So now, why are you going over here and you're liking Minori? Someone who, as far as Ami is concerned, because remember, we've also said that we don't know the extent of it, but Minori clearly has some type of facade. She clearly acts very happy-go-lucky, excited, this and that. But that's not her legit personality. We don't know what her personality is, but that's not how she always is. She puts that up because it helps her cope with things that she's going through. Ami, being the master of facades, sees right through this, and I like the fact that she highlighted in the episode. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I want the direct quote, but basically she highlighted the fact that Minori is like the sun, and the fact that if you get too close to the sun, you're bound to get burned. I believe that was her word exactly. Hold on. Okay, she mentions the perfect match. Let's see. I think I lost it. Okay, I'll find it later. I'll keep going through this. But basically, as I said before, is the fact that her view is the fact that from Yuji's standpoint, if he gets too close to Minori, it can mean trouble. I don't know, or we don't know necessarily yet what that can mean per se, but the fact that they're not a good fit. She tries to stir that she would be the right fit for him, and maybe she could be. But I think also she recognizes the fact that Minori and him doesn't make much sense, but him and Taiga, maybe they'll go to make sense. Something to think about. But Ryuji's in a weird, awkward place. And she had one other line that was really close as well. She mentions the perfect match. Is this it? Where is this line that she has? It's after this. She talks about being a perfect match specifically. Here we go. This is it. You're like the moon. Minori's like the sun. Get too close, you'll get burned. So we talked about that. And this is what I see here. So we're going to take this down. I mean, you wouldn't be able to whack her with tofu, would you? She's saying essentially the fact that the way that you could be like carefree with her, in this case, her being Ami, we can even take this to Taiga's standpoint. The fact that she could be carefree with Taiga, these are things that, again, are stuff that are valuable when it comes to relationship. We saw this last episode. Taiga says the same thing where when she's with Kitamura, she can't help but feel like she's anxious. She's always like on her toes, doesn't know what she's doing. She can't really relax and just be herself. And that's not something that's enjoyable. So what Ami's saying is basically the same thing that Taiga was highlighting towards the end of last week's episode. She goes on to say, here we go. So she says this pivotal line: adoration never leads to a balanced relationship. I feel like if you could take this line summarizes very clearly how the relationships work, I feel like, in this series. Kitamura and Taiga. Taiga has an adoration towards Kitamura. She says she loves him. It's adoration. That adoration doesn't lead to a good relationship because she can't be herself. Ryuji, to a lesser degree, by the way, in my opinion, I don't think it's as bad with him, Minori, as it is Taiga and Kitamura. But Ryuji adores the Minori that he sees on the outside. The Minori that he's around who is bright, shiny, like the sun. The thing is amazing, brilliance. the exact opposite of what he believes himself to be. Again, we see Ami even say the same thing, sun and the moon, opposites. But he has an adoration towards her. He doesn't have what it takes, in my opinion anyway, to have a balanced relationship to where he'd be in the long term probably happy. Maybe he could because of his personality. That's why I don't think he's as bad as Kitamura and Taiga once again. But it wouldn't be balanced. He is more of himself around Ami. He especially is more of himself around Taiga. Him and Taiga are like the two where things just work very, very naturally. And I think that again, this is why Ami is very frustrated by this whole scenario. She's on the outside looking in. And it's also why at the very end of the episode we have that scene where obviously Ryuji and Minori are talking, but it ends off with pretty much Taiga just sitting there by herself. And I think she has like the little solar firecracker. But in that scene, you see she's alone with Kitamura. She doesn't feel happy. At the very end of this episode, we see here she's going and she's looking at Ryuji like, look at this, look at this, look at this. Why? Because Taiga's again realizing that she has feelings towards him, that she wants to be with him, and that's where she's comfortable. She's probably not enjoying the fact that he was getting closer to Minori during this trip, but what's she going to say? Her whole thing is that she wants to get the two of them together. But again, she's at a conflict. She's trying to get them together, but at the same time, she's not realizing, oh, I got feelings for him. I digress. Anyway, everyone, like the video if you like the video. Comment in the comment section down below. And let me know your thoughts on the situation here again. We're really starting to get into like some of the heavier drama stuff. And for me, when I was watching this for the first time, it's around here where I started getting that really bad pit in my stomach of just like, this is about to go down in a bad way. But anyway, everyone, like the video, comment. And with that, I'm Leonard, and I'm out. Peace.